Yeah, I think oh, crud. Forgot one more thing. Let's see. It always, yeah, it's always something. That, and there we are. We're good to go. Oh, of course, there's that too. Yeah, it wouldn't be one of my live streams if I didn't forget something. Make sure I got my mic on. Yeah, I got that. I got to check these things. I will forget, man. I started late today, I got to admit. So, is what it is. What how's everybody doing today? Hope everybody's having a great day today. Hopefully we'll get some people coming in here, even though started a little late. Reason I started late was there's been construction going on with my neighbor, and it's been buzzing a lot down here for a while. So yeah, that's why. And I think it sounds like they've been mostly done with whatever they were working on. So hopefully shouldn't come through on the mic, but just in case you hear something in the background, some buzzing noise, that's what's going on. Just some construction. Yeah, I've been tired. My sleep has been really weird lately. I have issues with sleep. Have for most of my life. It is the literal bane of my existence. Yeah. For me, sometimes I sleep great, but I would say like that's rare. 75% of the time, I'm struggling in one way or another with my sleep. And, I have sleep apnea and I use a CPAP, and that helped with like issues with pain during sleep because it hurt to sleep on my side on my shoulders. And that helped a lot. But I also have a problem with just like waking up in the middle of the night, like 3 o'clock in the morning, just feeling like I'm awake and I can't get back to sleep for another 2 hours. That's frustrating. And that's tiring because I go to start the next day. Maybe I can catch a nap that day for a half hour or an hour or something like that. But you can't really ever play catch up. So lately, the issue has been like last night, I didn't experience sleep in the normal way. Like I slept the first 2 hours, but then I would wake up and then go use the bathroom or something. Then they come back, go to sleep, and every hour and a half, and I would just do this, and I wouldn't feel like I was sleeping. It felt like I was time traveling. I would just close my eye. I would look at the clock, close my eyes, look at the clock again. It'd be an hour and a half later, and it was weird. Like I have no perception of sleep from last night. So it's weird. Ah, there we go. A little thirsty today. The it's hot today. It's like currently 93 outside. Holy crap. Happy to be inside. Got the fan going off to the side, cooling me down a little bit. hanging in there, doing my thing. So yeah, I wasn't gonna live stream today because I was just so tired. But I felt like I got a little second wind, and I really want to get this thing going, and I want to stop missing days that I say I'm going to live stream and just putting it off for the next day or whatever. I can't get a consistent audience doing that, so I got to keep same day, keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it. Because look, I don't have high goals, but I can get this live stream to make me $50 a month. That would make something so much easier for me. I would have some play money. So I gotta get this going. Read a really great post on Mastodon today. And it highlighted something that I knew but don't really talk about. And the only reason I know this is because I have volunteered in food banks in the past. This person writes, so I spoke to people getting food at a food bank, and here are some things I learned from those in need. Everyone donates Kraft mac and cheese in the box. They can rarely use it because it needs milk and butter, which is hard to get from regular food banks. Boxed milk is a treasure, as kids need it for cereal, which they also get a lot of. Everyone donates pasta sauce and spaghetti noodles. They cannot eat all the awesome canned veggies and soups unless you put a can opener in it too, or buy Pop Tops. Oil is a luxury, but needed for rice-a-roni, which they also get a lot of. Spices or salt and pepper would be a real Christmas gift. Tea bags and coffee makes them feel like you care. Sugar and flour are treats. They fawn over fresh produce donated by farmers in grocery stores. Seeds are cool in spring and summer because growing can be easy for some. They rarely get fresh meat. Tuna and crackers make a good lunch. Hamburger helper goes nowhere without the ground beef. They get lots of peanut butter and jelly, but usually not sandwich bread. Butter or margarine is nice too. Eggs are a real commodity. Cake mix and frosting makes it possible to make a child's birthday cake. Dishwashing detergent is very expensive and is always appreciated. Feminine hygiene products are a luxury, and women will cry over that. Everyone loves stovetop stuffing. And they go on to talk about how all in the years they've donated food at the holidays. They bought what they thought was wanted, but never bothered to ask the food bank. And that's something I want to stress. That's a absolutely fantastic idea. You know, it's important to donate to our local food banks if you can. And don't just throw them the stuff that you haven't eaten or that are about to expire. You know, really help them out. You know, ask them, call them, ask them what they need. Start there. You know, start with giving them a call and say, hey, what are you guys looking for right now? And they will tell you because they all know. And each food bank for different areas and different places are going to need different things. So if your closest and most local, food bank needs rice, make sure they get rice. If they need meat, make sure they get meat. It's important to check with them and see what it is that they need. And that list was dead on right. That list was 100% correct. And I hope you paid attention to them. And I hope that you call your local food bank and see what you can do to help them, because coming up in the holiday season, there's going to be a lot of families that are not going to be able to have any kind of holiday celebration. And what you donate at the food banks may be enough to give them a little something, or heck, not even the holidays, just to keep them alive each day, put food in their bellies. You know, I don't know if you know what it's like to be hungry, but it's not a pleasant thing. These food banks are set there to help not only other people, but you never know what situation you may fall into in life. It's not like these people chose to be where they are. Okay. There's a lot of people who are just like you in your economic status, whatever that is, who very quickly find that that can be taken away in all sorts of different ways. When that happens, you will be grateful for food banks. When you're busy trying to get welfare or something like that to help you out, and that's processing, you're going to be thankful for food banks. I know I have been in the past. I have not only utilized food banks, but I have volunteered at food banks. That's important. Make sure that you go out there and you donate and you do what you can to help your local food bank. Get on Google and find it. Anyway, that's something that's sad. I mean, it's the fact that food banks are even needed at all is, a sign of it's not good. Let's just say that. It's not good at all. I don't know really how to get into it. It's just not good. Well, hopefully, change that for the better, right? And fix that stuff. Sorry, I was just checking a setting. I distracted myself for a second there. Ugh. Yeah, so I thought that was a beautiful sentiment that someone made, and I co-signed it and boosted it and hopefully get it out to more people. I feel a little phlegmy this afternoon. I don't know why. Maybe it's the dry weather or something. I don't know. Tam's been dealing with a cold or something for the last week and a half. Probably allergies or something. I don't know what's going on with her. But yeah, I feel a little phlegmy. It's odd. Very odd. Trying to think what's going on. Nothing. Besides me need to get more people in here. I wish I could find a service that would help me with my video editing. But it is what it is. Just issues with the app that I've been using on my phone to make clips of my live streams is a little problematic right now. So I need to find like a different way to do things. Until then. Okay, sorry about that. I didn't think you wanted to hear that. Like I said, feeling a little phlegmy. But I'm okay. I'm hanging in there, hoping people show up and come in. Want to have a conversation with me. I need to start inviting people to come in and talk to me. Why don't you talk to me like lovers do? Yeah, I don't know how long this live stream is going to be today. Just because I am, how do I say it? Tired. I am tired. And would really like to get a good night's sleep. But, I gotta push through. I gotta push through. It's gotta be here for no one to show up and talk to me. Because if no one shows up to talk to me and I'm not here, how will I know that? Basically is the issue. Yeah, okay, I might be a little delusional. Might be a little sleep deprived delusion. I think you can handle it. Oh, man. This will pass. I mean, the sleep problem will like, because it goes in phases. It'll last for maybe a week, sometimes 2 weeks. And I'll be like dead tired and everything. But, I can push through. I've done it before. And then things will go back to whatever normal is supposed to look like. I don't even remember anymore, to be honest with you. Whatever normal is supposed to be. Whatever normal sleep looks like, I got no clue. None whatsoever. Oh, what was the thing that I heard about? Oh, I think it's hilarious that two of Drew Barrymore's writers won't be coming back. Great. Fantastic. The principled people in Hollywood. What an amazing thing. Screw Drew Barrymore. I don't believe her. She didn't know bit. And, scab is a scab. I mean, it is this. How. Let's put it like this. Either she knew what she was doing or she's a complete moron. And I think that she plays off of that. She's a ditzy, woman who, is so honest and innocent and doesn't always grasp everything, kind of persona that she seems to base her career on, sort of. And this hippie-ish, for the people, Mother Earth kind of persona is straight up bullshit. I mean, I'm sure it's true to an extent. But, and I don't know the woman or anything like that, but all I know is that you can't be doing what she's doing and be in the position that she's in, not just as the host of the Real Show, but as like a producer and what have you, person in charge basically of the whole thing. You can't be in charge of all that and handling all that if you're an idiot. And you can't tell me that one of the simplest things about what a union is and what a union does, the workers coming together to, slow down the means of production, right? So that management comes to the table and negotiates. It's that simple. Like how any grown adult doesn't understand what that is amazing to me. I mean, it really is. Because it's such a basic concept. Workers use their collective power to slow down production or stop production so that management feels the need to negotiate with them. It's simple. So how she didn't know that by putting her show back on, that she was producing, making a product for management, she has to be a giant idiot. And I can't believe that a giant idiot like that could do what she does. So yeah, I don't believe her apology. I think the writers that decided not to to work for her anymore are completely legitimate in doing that. I mean, I guess they're in a position where they could, and that's great. I'm not going to put judgment on the writers who have to stay, because they may be so far behind in their bills because of the strike that they can't afford to do anything less. I don't know their situation, so I'm not going to judge. But I think if I was a writer there or a former writer there and they wanted me back and I could afford not to, and I had somewhere else that wanted me to work, you're goddamn right, I would jump ship. And I think any of those writers will probably bail on her, however many writers she has, will probably bail on her the moment they get a better option or a better offer or even equal offer somewhere else. But it's Hollywood. Writers are always going to pop up. Let's put it like this. Writers and actors are a dime a dozen. Good writers and good actors, are the ones that are hard to find. But there's so many people who think they can act and so many people who think they can write. They far outnumber the amount that actually can. So, yeah, no, I don't anything at all have any sympathy for her whatsoever. She is a bottom dweller to me now. If you're a scab, I mean, I have absolutely no sympathy for you. I have no dedication or loyalty to you. Because people don't understand that, it's the people versus management, basically. Always has been and always will be. Except before, when we called management, we called them lords. We called them barons. We just changed the name. We're talking about property owners who will suck the most out they can of profit out of their employees while giving the minimum that they can to to make a profit. There are very few companies out there, very few, who share their profit with their employees. It doesn't involve some kind of bullshit stock option or something. Just saying that's the truth. That be the truth of it. I can't believe how much water I'm drinking today. Okay, need to stay hydrated. It is hotter. I mean, it's not unbearable. It's only 93 right now. Holy crud, 93 Fahrenheit. It's hot outside, but it's kind of nice downstairs in the house. As long as you got a fan on, you can keep cool. It's only supposed to last for like another week, I think. Which, if I understand correctly, this October may be the hottest October in a long time. At least in Southern California. I'm sure if it is here, it is, everywhere else, I would imagine, in the country. Because usually, it goes in patterns and what have you. But it's crazy to me. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there for a second. Yeah. My brain just wants to go to sleep. Honestly, that's it. Just wants to just completely, what? Okay, it's not like anyone's here to see it. Oh. Excuse me. That's because all this excitement that I produce. My live stream. Everybody all hyped up. Hey, I said I was going to be here Thursday. I'm here Thursday. That's what counts. I may have started late, but I'm here. If I say I'm going to be here, I'm going to be here. Don't you know it? Oh, I'm so ready for November to get here. You know, although, yeah, I just want November to get here. So the reason I want November to get here is so that I can finish out my hosting package for my website, so I can shut that thing down, transfer my domain to somewhere else in my just the domain. I won't be hosting anywhere, but transfer my domain somewhere else. Excuse me. Jeez. And then I'm going to just like forward it to my bio link. My bio.link/Mr. Funky Dude. That way, if anybody goes to MrFunkyDude.com, they'll just be sent, to where all my content is. Simple as that. All right, give me a second. Be right back. Sorry about that. I had to take a little break. My nails are finally coming back. Actually a little faster than I anticipated, which is great. But I still would like it faster. What I mean is, I have psoriasis, and I had to stop taking my injections when I got my surgery on my knee. And so one of the ways it manifests is underneath my nails. And if you don't want to see this, you don't have to. Just turn away and look away. What it does is it gets underneath my nails and starts kind of lifting them. And it ends up kind of like here are these nails. Now that's just brown that you see. It's just the psoriasis underneath. It's not like a fungus or anything like that. It's just dead skin, kind of like pushing it up. And you can see like the pink. Well, that pink was almost gone. Like everything was pushed like way farther, like down the nail bed. Like you didn't see any pink, but it's starting to come back now. Yeah, that nail's all messed up, isn't it? Oh, so funny. I should have got water when I got up earlier. Why didn't I do that? Because I forget things sometimes. All the time. What am I talking about? Sometimes. Don't I forget things? I'll probably do another live stream tomorrow because Tam will be at work. So I'll probably be able to do another live stream tomorrow. Probably promote it better than I did this one so we get people to show up. Because this was like a last minute jumped on. Even though I said I was going to do it Thursday, let's just be honest, I don't have the greatest reputation for following through on my dates. You know, I gotta be honest about it. Not exactly the best, but I'm trying to fix that. I'm trying to change that because I really want to get this thing going. I'm tired of playing at this. I want to do this, you know. I think I got a good idea. Get people in here, get them talking, do some interviews with people, you know, everyday people, even out on the street. Just talk to people about their lives, talk about what they do, you know, what's important to them aside from politics and religion. You know, see what they say, see what they talk about. Like I've even had the idea of going to like a public area and just sitting down at a table somewhere, like a picnic table at a park or something like that, and having a sign where I just invite people to come talk to me and tell me about, you know, the things that are important to them besides religion or politics. You know, just to avoid those. Like no religion. Let's not talk about religion. Let's not talk about politics because those things are divisive. Right? What I want to do is I want to talk about you, what's important to you. What are some of the most important things to you in your life? What brings you joy in your life right now? And get those stories that we can all relate to, you know, where we can see ourselves in others. It's important. And it would be fun. What I should do is in the winter, as it gets cooler, actually would be a really good idea now that I think about it. Go with my girlfriend she, you know, does Pokemon Go as community day often at parks she goes to or malls, things like that. I should go and just record with her, talk to people. You know, wouldn't even have to be live, but live would be fun too. You know, talk to people, record, and say, ask them the questions. I think it'd be fun. But I'm not going to do that sitting here today. It's hot. It's 93 outside. I ain't doing shit today. They're going down. What's up, Willie McCormick? How you doing today? William says that's a great idea. Right? I think so too. I mean, that's the whole idea behind this live stream is eventually get a large enough audience where I have people who can come in and be a guest and talk about their days and talk about their lives and what's important to them. And, you know, I even had the idea of starting a video series where I interview people. And the question that I start every interview with is, tell me a story of a moment of joy in your life. You know, and then just get into the weeds on that story. Why was that story, you know, so important to them? How did it bring joy? You know, why was that joy important to them that it's so memorable to them, you know? I think that would be an interesting set of videos. William McCormick says, I'm good. How are you? I just tuned in. William, I am doing wonderful. Thank you very much for showing up. Thanks for tuning in. Wish there was more people here. Usually there's like 3 or 4 people here, but for whatever reason today is slow. I don't know how much live streaming you're into or how much live streaming you watch. I've been live streaming for, I want to say like 6 years, which you're going, wait, if you've been live streaming for 6 years, why don't you have a bigger audience? Because I screwed myself a couple of years ago. So I had a good size audience. At one time when I first started streaming 6 years ago in the heyday of Twitch, I had a good size audience and I squandered it. I really did. I didn't show up on time all the time. I didn't schedule my live streams and do them all the time like I should have. I didn't make any video clips of any of the discussions I had with people. And then the pandemic hit and I started seeing more people live streaming, which means that less people were watching. And now I think people are going through kind of like a live streaming burnout of sorts because there's so many people to watch. But you know, when you have too many choices, you don't make any choice at all. Like the other day, I went back and looked at some of my. I don't use Twitch that often, although I stream to it. I don't really use it that often. So I haven't kept up with my like favorite old time streamers from like 3 or 4 years ago. And I went back and looked at them the other day and they're not even getting half of the amount of, like not even, some of them aren't even getting a quarter of the amount of views that they used to get. I was just stunned. I was like, whoa, okay. Well, see, not just me. But I'm trying to rebrand the whole thing. I'm trying to, go with a new concept, which is the interviews, talking to people like yourself or whoever wants to volunteer to come up and talk. And, trying to, I hate the divisiveness of religion and politics. And I used to be heavily involved in both. But I don't want to talk about it anymore because I just find it too divisive. I kind of think of it like this. It's not to say that religion and politics aren't important. They are. But I think one of the things that we've done is that we've forgotten what we have in common with each other, no matter what your religion or no matter what your politics is. And I think we need to be reminded of that. And that's what I want to try to set out and do, is remind everybody that, we're not just our different religions or lack of religion, not just our different political ideas or lack of political ideas. We're more than that. We need to remember that we have more in common with each other than we think we do. And I'm not some like centrist bullshit kind of thing. I definitely have my political ideologies and what have you, but I keep it to myself. Like I tell people outside of this live stream, if you want to engage with me politically or, in a theistic manner, feel free to. I've got lots of opinions and I will voice them, just not here. That's not what I want this to be. I want this to be about people. I want this to be, about the human spirit, the human condition, regardless of what your political or religious affiliations are. Because I think if we can remember that about each other, if we can remember that we have more in common than we have differences, that then we can build bridges. Then we can talk about politics and religion with each other with respect. Although not all ideas deserve respect. I'm not saying they do. But it's a good starting point. See where it goes from there. Could be wrong. I could be wrong. I don't know. I'm trying. Yeah, so I'm sorry if my voice seems off today. Like I said, for some reason, this afternoon I'm feeling a little Flemish, Is that the right term? Flemish? I feel like I'm talking about a group of people. The Flemish. What I mean? Phlegm. I have phlegm. I'm pushing through. But how are you, William? If you're still watching, I hope you're having a good day today. I hope that you're finding some joy in your life. I see we have some other lurkers from the view counts from the different places that I'm streaming at right now. And I want to say hi to the lurkers. Thank you for joining me. Lurkers are quite welcome. Glad you're still here, William. William, what part of the world do you hail from? And I'm going to ask you one of my favorite questions, if you don't mind answering it. What brings you joy lately? What are you really into? Like, what are you focused on right now that you're really into that makes you happy? I think that tells a lot about someone. And if you could share that in the chat, that's wonderful. Rainy day today. William says, well, keep dry, my friend. I hope that you don't get too wet. Don't get too muddied. William says, I just recently found your stuff on PeerTube. Oh, excellent. 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 Well, I'm live streaming on PeerTube right now as well. I multi-stream on PeerTube, YouTube, and Twitch. And I use a different host for my live stream than I do on, well, let's put it like this. I have two PeerTube accounts. I have one for my videos and I have one for live streaming. And it has to do with the fact that PeerTube doesn't have a native chat for their live streams. And someone who has a chat on their PeerTube live streams, they run an instance, offered to give me some space to do the live streams on it. So yeah, that's what I do. And if you go to my, my Diode Zone PeerTube, you'll see that there's a link to my live stream over there. But you're in Detroit, Michigan. Whoa. Oh, you see, that's how I found your YouTube and stuff. I just recently started exploring PeerTube. Yeah, PeerTube's fun. PeerTube's good. I really wish that more people would invest time in PeerTube. I've been trying to put a lot of videos on it. I need to make some more videos. I just put 2 videos up the other day, mostly clips from my live stream. But then I'll do like special interest videos, stuff like that. But I wish more people would, get into checking out PeerTube to get more invested in it. I think it's a underdog right now in the Fediverse. It's not being utilized as well as it could be. The problem is mostly a lot of tech heads who make videos on PeerTube. You don't have a lot of content creation that you would see on YouTube on PeerTube. I mean, there's some people who make stuff like you don't see a lot of cooking shows on PeerTube, right? See a lot of that on YouTube, that kind of thing. I would like to see more of that on PeerTube. So I try to promote it as much as I can. I just realized the other day that the amount of Fediverse services that I use compared to non-Fediverse services, mostly social services, like video, picture, microblogging, blogging. All that's Fediverse stuff for me right now. Like the only video socials that I use, YouTube and Twitch, are the only ones that are non-Fedi right now. But microblogging is Mastodon. Blogging is Write Freely. My pictures, my art, my photographs are on PixelFed. I use PeerTube. What else is there? I feel like I might be missing something. But yeah, I think I am well entrenched in the Fediverse. Because I just like it more. I like the people on the Fediverse more. I like the attitude more. I like the control more. I like that we're not, under an algorithm, that we have control, that it's not some big company, telling us what we should look at and what we shouldn't. I mean, my success on Mastodon is way bigger than it ever was on Twitter. I was on Twitter since beta. I was on Twitter when you could only use your phone for Twitter, basically. I was an old adapter of Twitter. I was on Twitter for forever. And then when I dumped Twitter a couple years ago, just because I wasn't getting the success with it, no one was paying attention. I had maybe 200 followers. Found Mastodon in 2019. Was it 2019? 2018, 2019. And was on it and had within a couple of years, I had the same amount that I had on Twitter, but I wasn't really putting myself into it as much as I had Twitter because I just felt burned out on Twitter. Then with the whole thing with Elon went off the rails and he bought Twitter, I jumped over. I started putting more of my attention into Mastodon because there was more attention on Mastodon. And I increased my followers by leaps and bounds. I'm not going to say how much it is because I'm not going to brag about it. I don't think it's really worth anything because I'll explain that later. But just saying that I definitely have a larger audience on Mastodon than I ever did on Twitter. And it's just because people feel different on the Fediverse. I don't know how to explain it to people. There's a different vibe on the Fediverse. Johnny, what's up? Johnny shows up. So, hey, is that time already? It is that time. Johnny, what's up, buddy? Johnny says, wife and kid had COVID, so I'm repelling them back with a cross and holy water. Holy crap, that sucks. Oof. It's safe at my computer, he says. Yeah. Gotcha. William says, dumped Twitter a few years ago as well. I still have one, but I only use it to see what's on there. I have no interest in what's going on over there anymore. I have this, it's like, I think of it like this. This is how I explain, like when I leave a service, I leave a service, right? Like I did the same with Twitter, did the same with Reddit, and I was a big user of both. But when they both started treating their people, like shit and started treating us as, like shit, made too many bad decisions, I left them and I don't go back. I'm not judging you or anything like that. Let's just say, but this is my reasoning. Your reasoning is your own. I'm not judging it at all. Trust me. My reasoning is I think of like these services like planets. And each service is Twitter's its own planet. Reddit is its own planet. And these planets are trying to get larger by attracting mass to them. Or think of them like black holes. Maybe that's an easier, right? These black holes want to get larger by attracting people to them. And what happens is that when you're using the service, you are adding mass to the planet, regardless if you post or not, because to them, it's about numbers. And it's about the numbers that they can show to their advertisers of this is the amount of people that are using the service. So this is why you should pay me X amount. Okay. And then they take that money and they grow bigger. Their greed goes bigger and what have you. So when I quit a service, I quit a service. I don't want to add to the mass of the service and help them get bigger. Right? So I quit. But I don't judge anybody, that still is on. I understand there are people who they have very niche communities on X, I guess it's called now, or even Facebook, which I don't use either, for the same basic reasons because they're a fucked up shit company. And I don't blame people that are still there. I try not to judge them because I don't know the reasons. People have their reasons for doing them. It's not for me to judge if it's valid or not. I can only talk about what I can do, what I would do, so just understand, no judgment. Because I used to be more judgmental about that kind of thing. And then someone pointed out to me that, hey, you don't know why people are staying. There are people in niche communities that depend on, their connection to people on Twitter or Facebook or whatever that they can't find in other places. It can be either selling their wares so they can make rent or have food that month, or it can be like a community of neurodivergent people who rely on information with friendship and fellowship with each other or whatever. You never know. And leaving isn't an option because, they don't want to break up the family, so to speak. So I don't judge. Honestly, I don't. Once I realized that, I thought, oh, yeah, that's a good point. William says, Mastodon is great. I have been on it for a few years. I just recently started working on my Mastodon account. Well, that's cool. Mastodon's great. Mastodon's wonderful. I love it. I wish more of the people that I know would get into it. William says, really, for me, I follow local politics. That is starting to die off, so my Twitter will die very soon. Yeah. But again, yeah, I used to do that. I used to do that as well. I used to use it a lot for engaging with companies, like complaining to them about stuff. But we need to get those politicians on Mastodon is what they where they need to be. You know, the politician who starts utilizing Mastodon is, you know, they'll get blocked, but oh man, I know there's a shit ton of journalists on Mastodon. Oh, someone, who was it that just opened a service? Some big tech, one of those big tech reviewer companies, whatever, tech review companies, just opened up their own instance on Mastodon. Can't remember which one it was though. But you're starting to see that more. Like there's governments with their own Mastodon instances in the world. I think it's brilliant. I think it's the way of the future. I've been saying this for a while now that decentralized, federated social media is the way to do it. Even what's his name, Jack Dorsey from Twitter recognized it. That's why he created Blue Sky or whatever it's called, Sky Blue. I don't know, is it Blue Sky, Sky Blue? That's why he created that, because he recognizes it as well. I mean, and he's talked about it for a long time. And I've been telling people for a long time that the only logical progression for social media is to go into the hands of the people. You know, instead of corporate social media, we have mom and pop social media. You know, think of it like that. You know, we got someone running their instance for whatever reason, and you know, the great thing is that, you know, I think one of the things that Mastodon shows is that if you're using a service that you really enjoy and really like, that the people will, you know, help fund it. The people will support it. I think that's a great thing. If I had the knowledge and I had the hosting platform and all that, I would start a service. I would start a Mastodon instance for Orange County. Let it, that's the county I live in Southern California. I would start one for Orange County and, you know, invite local politicians to join it, business owners and people, you know, whoever wanted to. But I'm not that smart and I don't have that kind of money for hosting to even start it. So that's not happening anytime soon. But I would if I could. Start my own little peer tube too. William says there is a person running for city council that's more active on Mastodon. That's awesome. It's a good thing. But yeah, I just tend to break away. For me, that's what feels best for me. I just stopped using the service. Like I stopped using Reddit when they went through their whole thing, and now I use KBin. I forgot to add that. Yeah, I use KBin for things. You know, like a lot of people left Reddit and started supporting KBin, and there was another one. I can't remember what its name was, but KBin's pretty good. There are KBin instances that are really nice. It basically works like Reddit. I mean, not as how do you call it, packed out, you know, featured out as Reddit is. It's still being worked on, but it's pretty good. I forgot about KBin. Huh. Add that to my list of social services. Yeah, I'm deeply entrenched in the Fediverse. You know, because I just like it. It's better here. Mastodon's better than X or Facebook, you know, for certain. And PixelFed is better than Instagram for sure. And I think the developer for PixelFed, Dan, is really cool. I think he's a bright guy and he's really into the Fediverse and really he's got some great projects that he's working on. I think he's going to do great. We shall see what we shall see. I got to get a refill of my water. Give me 1 minute. I'll be right back. Should have it better marked. More water. Thirsty today. I'm a thirsty boy. Big thing is I like I can sub to someone's PeerTube with my Mastodon account. Yeah, that's what one of the things that makes the Fediverse great. Is that, you know, I have I can tell people about my PeerTube and my Write Freely account and my KBin account or whatever, and they can just follow me from Mastodon. I love that. To me, that's an awesome thing. That's a big perk. Now, to me, like I said before, the Fediverse is obviously the future of social media. And people who say they don't get it, they don't understand, aren't trying. It's fucking easy. There are freaking mom book clubs on Mastodon. These people aren't tech heads. When people say to me, "Oh, Mastodon is too hard, I don't get it." What are you talking about? It's easy. You got to sit down and understand that you're learning something different and try to go with understand what you're learning. Which isn't really, because I mean, if people understand email, they understand, you know, federation and decentralization. Commenting system needs some work, but it's already amazing. Are you talking about PeerTube or are you talking about but yeah, the commenting system is pretty good on PeerTube. I get a notification whenever someone comments on one of my videos. And I'm like surprised at how many viewers I even have or followers I even have on PeerTube. Although I don't think the number is always correct. Like it says, I have 97 subscribers, but when I add it up, so let's see. Yeah, it's more than, well, I guess unique subscribers is what it's talking about. But it says I have 97 subscribers on PeerTube. That's pretty good. You know, and I like that, like, PeerTube doesn't have ads. To me, that's an awesome thing. You know, there's no monetization on PeerTube. That if someone likes my videos on PeerTube, they can support me if they want to see more. You know, I have a link there. And that's great. To me, it's like busking. You know, this live streaming to me is like busking. You know, I don't expect anything from it. It can be good. It's good, but it can be awkward to make a comment on PeerTube. Takes some getting used to. Yeah. Yeah. It's one of those things you just got to get used to. Yeah, there's, from what I understand, the end of the year, there's supposed to be a big update for PeerTube. At least that's what I'm getting from like GitHub and other places, that there's supposed to be like an end of the year big release planning that they're working on. Native chat for the live stream, handling IPs better, stuff like that. So, you know, I'm interested to see what comes out next year for PeerTube. Definitely interested in that. I just joined Write Freely a week, 2 weeks ago, because I leaving my WordPress account. I had a WordPress website, not hosted by WordPress, my own hosting service, just running the WordPress software. I've had it for years, but it's just never been what I wanted it to be. I always got more engagement in other places, mostly the Fediverse, you know, and all of my content was pulled on my website, was pulled. Like, you go there now, MrFunkyDude.com. All the content is pulled from, you know, my other services that I use where I get more attention, either PeerTube, YouTube, PixelFed, you know, what have you, right? And so I decided, okay, well, I'm not going to pay for another 2 years worth of hosting because I'm not getting, you know, the engagement with it that I would want to. So basically, I'm cutting it out. I'm going to have MrFunkyDude.com point to like a link tree, if you know what that is. This is like bio.link/MrFunkyDude. It's just, you know, a list of all my content, you know, places, you know, Mastodon, blah, 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 blah. And I've took all my writing that I had on my WordPress and I put it on Write Freely, which is why, you know, I started the Write Freely account. Very simple, very basic. But, you know, I want to put my mass, my gravity around these things so that more people are attracted to it, hopefully. So now what I'm hoping is that someone will engage, maybe who doesn't even know about who doesn't even know about the Fediverse. Maybe they see me on TikTok, or maybe they see me on YouTube or whatever else, and they want to know more about me. So they click on that link, MrFunkyDude.com. It takes them to my set of links, you know, for my content. And they can see, oh, what is Mastodon? What is Write Freely? What is PixelFed? You know, what is PeerTube? Might be their first introduction to it. And if so, wonderful. You know, I want to introduce them to it. But yeah, I'll be getting rid of my website next month. November, it ends. And so I will end it. I'm happy to do so. Fuck, I'll save myself a couple $100. I'd rather put into like the live streaming. You know, I would much rather do that. But I'm glad you like PeerTube. I'm glad, William, you like the Fediverse and all that. I encourage you to look more into like the other services that are associated with the ActivityPub protocol and the Fediverse. And Fediverse.info is a great place to start for anybody that's watching this that may not know what the Fediverse is and wondering what the heck I'm talking about. What are you talking about? What is all this stuff? You're talking about a prehistoric mammal and the peering into a tube and feeding a pixel. What are you talking about? Fediverse.info. FEDIVERSE.info. Check it out if you get the chance. Then you'll know more of what I'm talking about. I hope I'm not getting sick. That would suck. I'm not around enough people to get sick. I wear a mask when I go out, so just because I don't like being sick. People ask me, why do you still wear a mask when you go out? No one else is wearing a mask when they go out. My answer is simple. I didn't wear a mask because everyone else was wearing a mask. I wore a mask so I wouldn't get sick. And you know what I found was that I was less sick when I wore a mask when I was out. I don't like being sick, so I wear a mask when I go out. Because you people are disgusting. You're always touching your face and touching your nose and touching other stuff, spreading germs everywhere. No, seriously, like when I started wearing a mask after, for COVID and everything went on, I get way less sick than I used to. I used to get the flu every year. I used to get like colds all the time. Now the only time, I've only had COVID once, right? And it was because someone that lives here brought it here. They caught it, being as careful as they could. They caught it and they brought it here. Okay. Dealt with it. William says, great talking to you. I'll need to run. We'll try to catch you next time. All right, William, thank you very much. And I hope you gave me a follow. So you can know when I'll be broadcasting next. Have a great day. Oh, yeah. Just trying to stay healthy, just trying not to get sick would be nice. So I wear a mask when I go out. I really don't care. Like people look at me like I've had people go, you don't need to wear that mask. Yeah, I know. Neither do you. If you don't want to wear that mask, don't wear that mask. It's not mandated. I'm choosing to wear the mask because I didn't wear the mask before because I was told to and because everybody else was. Well, I started because I was told to. That's not why I kept doing it. It's like if I was told, I don't know how else to say it. It just works out. It's good for me. I don't mind it. It does not bother me like other people. I never have. I guess it's because when I was younger, I think I thought about this. So when I was younger, I used to, one of the jobs I had when I was a teen was I helped work with my uncle's and or his friend's pool plastering company. So there were many a summer where I was in a drained pool, top of some California hill, sweating my balls off and breathing the hot air that collected in the pool, when you're down in it and trying to beat out the plaster and with a sledgehammer. And I got used to breathing that warm air. And in the back of my head, I always thought when people say, oh, it makes the air too warm to breathe. Well, how do you think people in deserts survive? Never had a problem with wearing a mask. I always thought it was ridiculous that people did. Aside from having medical issues, which are very rare. But yeah, no. It was always never an issue for me. Not an issue. Yeah. Well, Johnny, if you're still out there, I hope that your wife and kid are doing okay. That they recover quickly. Most of all, don't go spreading it to other people. That would suck. I don't want it, Johnny. I don't want to get it again. Don't look, because I know what'll happen, Johnny. You'll catch it, and then you'll give it to someone else, and they'll give it to someone else, and they'll give it to someone else. And I don't live that far from you, man. Don't get me sick, Johnny. It'll be your fault if I get COVID in the next month, okay? I'm blaming you. Yeah, I said it. Oh, I'm so tired. It is insane. All right, everybody. I think I'm going to end the live stream here. I know it's a little early. I usually do, but I am just wickedly tired. I'm going to try this live stream again tomorrow. So hopefully we'll get some more people in here, have better conversations. We'll have more fun. But I want to thank everybody for listening. Thank for all the people that are lurking and watching. Thank you very much for your time. And I will see you again later.